Hi guys, and welcome to Fish Fan Friday. I wanted to give you guys an update on the Baby Bettas to show you what they look like when they are between meals. So this is the 3 Baby Bettas that you guys were concerned about, and this is what they look like when I haven't just fed them their Apache gel food. As you can see, I moved a rock over and there was like a tiny bit of food over there and they're all investigating. But I know you guys were really concerned about how big they were, but at this stage where they are about 2 months old and up, you can feed Baby Bettas a bit more. It won't affect their swim bladder as much, as long as it's food that will easily pass through them. So live food, the gel food goes through them quite fast. Now, if I fed them pellets or flake food, it could become dangerous. But Baby Bettas will digest and go through food super quick, which is why they're actually on a very high fat food. That, for example, I wouldn't be able to feed their dad because he would get really fat and it would be unhealthy for him because he is an adult with a slower metabolism. But the babies have super fast metabolisms, so now that they're larger and their swim bladder has developed, they can eat more. That being said, they don't have to stuff themselves full all the time. What happens is whenever I feed them gel food, what are you doing, little baby? Hey, are you stuck? No, you're not. You're good. They like to hang out in these, like lay in the roots. But anyways, before I get distracted again. So with these babies, when I feed them gel food, they do the big ones that are very smart at finding food, do gorge themselves. But whenever I feed them, for example, baby brine shrimp or Daphnia, because the food's spread around more evenly and it's not as easy for them to get it all, they don't get as huge. So I know that I didn't really explain what I was doing in the past video, and of course I need to start explaining more. But they only get this big when they eat the gel food, and they don't eat the gel food a lot. Either I will feed them some gel food every day, just one meal, or they'll get it every other day. So they're not always like huge and tummies full to the brim. Most of the time they look like this. Pretty normal. Actually, they haven't eaten yet. I'm gonna give them their breakfast, but as you can see, their stomachs return back to their normal size. If they were actually bloated, they would still have big stomachs. Bloated bettas tend to have big stomachs for multiple days, and then usually you need to give them some sort of laxative. Some look like they have smaller stomachs because they're darker in coloration, but as you can see, the babies look normal, and they're really excited right now about me feeding them, which is why they're swimming around. They're checking the bottom, checking the top. They want to know where they will get the food. Actually, I'll give them some tubiflex worms right now to show you how that feeds them a little differently than the gel food. So these are the tubiflex worms. This is what they're called, tubiflex worms. They're not good for like a main diet, but they're good for adding variety for your fish. So what I would do is I would take this little cube and then I slowly start to, as it gets wet, slowly start to just move it. I don't rub it too hard, but I break it apart into these tiny little worms. Sometimes I'll do it lower right here so it spreads evenly. Get my hand out. And there we go. That is going to be their breakfast. As you can see, the big ones are very quick in finding food. But because this is spread out everywhere, all the Baby Bettas are going to be able to find some food and find different pieces. Now the pieces are big, but because it's worms, fish are designed to eat worms or anything longer. So as long as it's thin and they can kind of suck it up like spaghetti, they can eat it, no problem. This one's a little better because since it's spread out, the Baby Betta, the fat ones right here, can't really feed on everything at the same time because it's all over the place. They have to swim around. So this gives the smaller fry an opportunity to find some food as well. So this way everyone gets to feed and it's a little more evened out now. Now another thing to consider in regards to how much I feed these babies and their metabolism is also the water temperature. I have the water set to 84 degrees. You can have fry and as high as 88 degrees. They'll be fine with that. The higher the water temperature is, the quicker the metabolism of a fish is. If you have a higher temperature and it's warmer, they're going to digest and pass their food a lot faster, and it also will increase and speed up their growth and development a little bit. So everything is happening a lot faster in this tank than, say, it would in their father's tank, where he has a slower metabolism. His tank is at 78 degrees, which is just, you know, an average temperature. By the way, I redid his tank. What do you think of his little Asian setup? Even though he's not really looking like it. Mookie, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Don't go in there. He's trying to go for the Daphnia. But yeah, this is what their father's tank looks like. I put in the dragon, as well as this little hidey spot, and I still have the bowl in here. The reason I don't use my previous filter, the glass filter, anymore, and I use a sponge, is because now that I have more tanks, it's just so much faster to clean this, because I just got to take this out, squeeze it in some tank water, and that's it. While the other one I had to constantly take apart and put back together. So if I had just 1 or 2 tanks, I would probably still do it because it looks pretty. But because, you know, I have so many tanks right now, I'm just going for what is the easiest to maintain. So this is the 20-gallon long. That's Mr. Bubbles. That's Demon Betta over here. I put some plants in here that I moved from another tank. So they're just temporarily floating here, and Demon Betta is using them as kind of little hammocks to rest in, so he's enjoying that. I just had to pluck a few dead leaves off of here, and I accidentally pulled a plant out. I put them back in, but that meant that I just kind of stirred everything, so that's why there's like a huge mess in this tank. But that is how things are looking in this tank. Everything is working out well. Well, here is the 20-gallon tall tank, the long-awaited transfer of the females back into their house, and they are doing well. The plants are growing quite a bit without the CO2 yet. I think I'm going to start that this weekend because I keep talking about it and I keep forgetting. One of the plants is floating up here because he kind of got loose, so I got to put him back in here. But the females are doing well. They are, as you can see, getting really big. Of course, the koi female is the largest, and she's starting to change colors. And she's hunting some baby endlers right now. And this is the Otocinclus catfish right here. Let me show you this guy. So cute. Just hanging on the glass. Of course, I have endlers, and then on my bettas. And I thought I would feed them some tubiflex worms, like I did with the babies. So I'm just gonna kind of loosen it up. I hope they don't bite. Please don't bite me. Let me grab this piece. And you could see them eat. Of course, if I can tell you which are the piggiest bettas, it would be this one right here and this one right here. As you can see, these two are very fast and always congregating around the food. So now what I do is I kind of try to be in more control of how much food I spread around so that everyone can have a meal. Now I don't have the orchid, the black orchid anymore, but I'll make a video explaining that in the future, because that was a, oh, see, look at her, this fatty, she's always so quick. Now she'll be fine. She'll get kind of pudgy, but she'll poop it right out later on. But that's how she is. She's always waiting and always greedy and grabbing more food than she needs. And same with this female. Those are my two big piggies. But besides that, the food, as you can see, is just floating around, and they're just going to catch different pieces. But I know you guys were excited about having the females back in here. If I do pick any female babies from the spawn to keep, then I will grow them out and hopefully incorporate them into this group. I could probably add maybe 2 more females before this tank starts to get overcrowded. This tank technically is a little bit on the crowded side, but I do large frequent water changes, and I am going to grow out the plants quite a bit over here, so that will compensate for it. And I've dealt with overcrowded tanks before because I used to have an African cichlid tank. And with African cichlids, because they are so aggressive, you want to overcrowd a tank to minimize aggression or them forming territories. So because of that, I've kind of figured out how to be able to keep a slightly overcrowded tank healthy. But as you can see, the female, she's right here, the koi female, she's starting to change. She will change colors eventually. That's what all marbles do. It's at this point inevitable unless people breed to stabilize the marble genes. But she's definitely changing slower than the male. So that's kind of interesting to observe. Also, she has a much different body type than the other females. Her body type is a lot longer. She doesn't get as chubby with her eggs as the other females. So that's pretty interesting to observe. Another thing I like about the tubiflex worms is they're small enough for the endlers to be able to eat them. Although they sometimes don't really know what to do with them. They'll grab them and spit them out and play with the food like that little female is doing right now. Also with these adults, I do fast them 1 or 2 times a week. So I'll give them like a big meal and then the next day they won't eat, which is kind of more natural and is a little better for their body and their digestive system. It's not a must, but it's been working well for me. So this is pretty much the update. I'm glad to have these females back in here because I can observe them a lot better in this tank. I could see them a lot better. And in the future, if I were to breed more bettas, I would definitely try to get another maybe 20-gallon long tank, not particularly tall, but probably a 20-gallon long to be a fry grow out tank, just so I can film them better for you guys, because I am kind of dreading putting the babies into the clear tubs, because once I put them in the clear tubs, yes, they're gonna have more room, and the clear tubs are easier for me to keep because they're light, and you know, you could stack them and store them when you don't need them. The downside is going to be a little harder for me to film updates on the babies. You guys will still have updates, but you won't be able to see them as clearly as, you know, you see these guys, for example, through glass. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. It is pretty long, but I know some of you guys just enjoy looking at the fish and watching them display their behaviors, interact, and, you know, while I babble on and try to give you guys information to the best of my ability. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Thumbs up help let me know which videos you would like to see more of. If you are new, be sure to subscribe and tell your friends. If you have anybody that's interested in fish care or care of cats and dogs and other critters, I have a lot of helpful videos on my channel that you can check out. And I think I don't know, I didn't check yet how many subscribers I have, but I'm very close to 20,000 subscribers. And when I hit 20,000 subscribers, I am going to lose my mind out of happiness. We might have some sort of cool special video. I'm gonna have a party. If it happened today, I don't know if it happened today, but if it happens today, then for Monday, I'll try to plan something awesome and do something exciting. I don't know what yet, but I'll try to figure something out. So I hope that you guys enjoyed hanging out with me, getting an update on all my fish, and spending some time with the critters. I hope that you have an awesome day, and I will see you on Monday.